Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning back in. So my plan yesterday, July 31st, was to feed the hives in the afternoon, but we had a pretty severe rainstorm move through. I took longer than expected harvesting some frames and everything. So here we are the following day. It's about 9:15 on August 1st, 81 degrees, 85% humidity, and that means it feels like it's 89 degrees. So I've been out here for the better part of 30 to 45 minutes just moving some equipment around. So this side of the bee yard that I expanded this past week or so, did a lot of clear cutting, made another hive stand and everything. So that is completely just storage for now. But some equipment I've let go, not really proud of that. Bunch of frames that I needed to clean this past year, but you know, being away for a while doesn't really help. So anyway, I'm back out here in the yard like I planned to be yesterday to feed the hives. So I got this idea from Paul over at Warden's Farm. Just whip up some sugar water, use gallon jugs, because the feeders minus these two that the gentleman down at Hampstead Honey was nice enough to give me when he gifted a few hives last year because he was moving out of the area. But the rest of my division board in hive feeders, whatever you want to call them, are 1 gallons. I think I got these from Brushy Mountain a few years back, and then these ones down here are from Man Lake. So I've said it in previous videos, they're advertised as taking up 1 frame space, and that's not entirely true. I mean, it is and it isn't. Do they take up 1 frame space? Yes, but good luck getting 9 frames into a 10 frame box. So what I've been doing in the past few years is I'll remove 2 frames, run my 10 frame as an 8 frame, just to give myself enough space to get the frames out when I have the division board feeders in. So enough me yapping. I'm going to get into the hives, pull or remove 2 frames that have hopefully not much going on, insert the division board feeder, and then fill it up with a gallon of feed, since I took some honey from the hives yesterday. And now that it's August, the area is most likely going through a dearth, like I said in yesterday's videos, to where nothing's blooming. So it's in my best interest to feed the bees, and I plan on feeding them heavily because some of the medium boxes that I'll overwinter the colonies with need some help withdrawing wax. So the queen can use that as an extension to the brood chamber, and the bees can also use that as a space to store food. All right, so seriously, enough me yapping. Let's get into the hives, pull some frames, and feed them. All right, about to get into swarm 19 in the first position, which is hive 5. I was just in them yesterday, so I'm sure the bees are kind of wondering what's going on. Because at the height of the season, I'm really only in them once a week, 10 days max, or at least that's the idea. So this should be pretty quick though, because all I'm doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the other thing I need to do. Paul is running them as 9 frames, which I have in the past as well. But now that the honey flow is pretty much over, or ending, I'm gonna get them back to 10 frames. So that's something else I want to do. Forgot about that, but luckily I removed some boxes yesterday for the colonies that really didn't need a lot of space. So let's see, let's do this, slide that over, put the beetle trap there. You box them back up and grab a frame. I forgot about that. All right, I'm back. Just grab the frame out of one of the boxes I pulled yesterday. It's got some nice drawn wax too, so hopefully that helps the queen expand the brood chamber. And I am somewhat prepared because I have a deep ready. So when I pull the 2 frames from the bottom box, I immediately have somewhere to put them. But it's a nice looking colony. I mean, nice Feedin Bees on the top bars and everything. So I'm really trying to pull the frames that really don't have anything going on, or as little as possible. Kind of looks like this might be one. Yeah, it's a good frame to pull, so we'll pull that one and the one next to it. Yep, easy day. I usually put the frame feeders on the right, but that truly doesn't matter. And then this is what I was saying in the intro. They're advertised as taking up 1 frame width, but you can see how narrow that is. It makes it extremely tight to try and fit 9 frames. So they're not wrong. They do fit 9 frames, but I've done that in the past and it is entirely too tight. All right, that does it, everybody. Easy way to really fill an in-hive division board feeder. If you got a gallon feeder like this is, just gallon jug. Too simple. But yeah, I'm just gonna box them back up and that's it, just a matter of minutes. So it's got the rest of the hives to do, and that's it for me for today and until next weekend. All right, I just wanted to show you something. So this top box is pretty much completely empty, no real drawn wax or anything. It's very light. Paul added that just to give him space. And I can only find 1 frame, this one. I just smushed down all that oddly drawn wax, but I can only find 1 frame that was very bare. The rest are extremely nice. So I do have some buffer space, meaning I have these 2 top feeders. So I'm gonna add one of these to that colony, and since that top box doesn't have anything going on, this was the box that I pulled yesterday and harvested the honey. So since that hive is pretty strong, they're storing a lot of food down in the 10 frame on the outside frames and everything, or on the bottom box is what I meant. So since they're pretty strong, I'm gonna put this back. So they'll have a 10 frame. I'm gonna remove this top box that doesn't have much going on, replace it with the one I just showed you, and then give them one of the top feeders. And that should work out pretty nice for them. All right, ended up putting a shallow onto this colony because I could find 10 nice frames of drawn wax. So again, first time using a, I believe it's called a top feeder. So gallon of feed, and I think this holds about 2.5 gallons. We'll see. I might become a fan of these because all you gotta do is pop the top. You don't have to get down into the colony. And I think you want it canted, angled slightly forward. Probably pretty obvious to some people. So the bees can reach the portion up there. And yeah, there you go. Seems like they can just crawl over, yep, from that side, get down into some of the feed. Some are starting to come up already. All right, yeah, give it a week, or at least until the weekend. It's Monday, so I can easily check on this come, let's say Saturday morning, I guess. Pop the top and see how much feed's left. All right, another quick decision. So after popping the top on the hive in the 4th position. The top box really doesn't have anything going on. Let me try and show you real quick. So I have another box that has some nicely drawn comb, which is over here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, this one, just space for the bees, but they're not doing anything with it. So I'm gonna remove this. Golly. I'm gonna remove this box, pull 2 frames like I have been, and then give them a better box with drawn comb. They'll have to fix it up because I just harvested that yesterday, but it's usually a matter of a week or so, and then they'll have plenty of space to expand the brood chamber or store some food. Change of plans, just like that. Matter of a minute later. So after looking down in between all the frames, this colony is maximizing their frames. They're all drawn out, so I don't want to disturb that. So luckily I'm going to use another one of the top hive feeders for the colony in the 4th position. Alright, I'm bypassing number 3 because they have 3 to 5, I don't remember. I recall it being almost half of the top box. So I'm going to say 3 to 5 nice medium frames, halfway capped. So I'm going to give them another week and check on those. So I'm going to go down to hive number 6 and see if they have food. I have 1 gallon of feed left, so I'm actually going to divide it, and I have 2 division board and hive feeders. The last hive here has a somewhat newly mated queen within the last month. We were feeding them, or Paul was feeding them with kind of a top feeder, that circular thing, in a previous video. So in order to help them out, I'm going to give them some food, and I'm going to give 6 some food. And as I say that, I'm going to see how the 2 mediums are looking, since I have to get into them anyway. And if one of the mediums has some pretty nice food stores, I'm also going to move that over to the last hive here. All right, let's get into 6, get down to the bottom box, see if they have 2 frames I can remove, and put one of the division board feeders in with half a gallon of feed, but I'm gonna whip up some more today and replenish anything that needs to be replenished during the week. All right, so I ended up putting a division board feeder down in number 6. They had 2 frames that could be removed. The top 2 boxes are kind of equally mixed with nice drawn comb, and the bees they seem to be working it. Now that they have more food, they should work it a little harder. And I also thought that the last colony here may not need that extra space from one of the medium boxes, because they are a new colony, if you want to call it that, with the newly mated queen and everything. So I'm just going to get into them like the rest of the colonies, remove 2 frames. I'm sure they have 2 that can stand to be removed. Give them about 3/4 of a gallon of feed, and then check on them this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, to see how much feed they've used. All right, that does it for me, everybody. Took a little longer than I anticipated, but I was also taking my time and moving pretty slow. No need to be in a hurry when it comes to something as simple as feeding the bees. So there you go. That's it for this week. I mean, yesterday did a quick inspection, more so just checking the medium boxes and pulling some honey. I think I managed to get about half a bucket, so 25 to 30 pounds. I haven't weighed it or anything. But then because I did that, cause and effect, I wanted to get out here and ensure the bees had adequate food, immediate food. Again, area might be going through a dearth to where nectar sources are slowing down. So I just wanted to make sure they had food so nobody starves. And I'll continue to feed them heavily all the way through the fall. I know I just added these 2 top hive feeders between this one and that one down there, but honestly, I kind of like the simplicity of them. meaning you don't have to get into the hives. You just pop the top. You can check to see how much food it has, refill it if need be. Kind of like it. And you're not taking frames out of the hive or out of the deep. So they have maximum frames at 10. So again, that does it for this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't liked the channel or subscribed to the channel, please do so. Most of our views come from unsubscribed viewers. I think like 80% of our views. So if we could switch that, that would be fantastic. If we had 80% of our views coming from subscribers and 20% coming from unsubscribed. Again, the goal is to hit 10,000. More out of a curiosity, but it's still a goal and we have a long way to go, but that can change with the help of everybody watching this video. All right, that does it for me. Thanks for watching. Cole's Farm here in Jacksonville, North Carolina.